I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be, You Don't Love Me As Much. I've got an email here from a viewer, and I've got a quote that I want to share. This is from Robert Collier. He says, "Success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out." Great fucking quote. So I've got this email here, and he says, "Hey, Coach, I hope you're doing well, and I would like your advice on something. Me and my girlfriend, we've been together for 8 months now, and I assumed everything was going great. Most guys usually do. And we are spending a lot of time together, going out to a lot of places, and we have recently booked a holiday away, so in my eyes, everything was great. Unfortunately, last night she randomly came out of the blue with, 'You don't love me as much as you used to.' And I said to her, 'What do you mean?' And she begins to say that you don't say I love you as much as you used to, and you don't kiss or hug me as much." And it's interesting. So she says this to him, and this is the typical male response. And I'm sure any women are watching this are going to fucking roll their eyes and go, yep. And so here's his response. Now, instead of taking in what she says and just taking it as constructive feedback of how she's feeling emotionally about the relationship in that moment, what does he do? He gets defensive because it starts to make him feel like he's not successful at making her happy. And so here's his response. And the ladies that are watching this, you're probably going to roll your eyes. And so he says, "The thing is, every time I meet her for dates or anytime, I always kiss her and hug her, and I kissed her many times after that, so this confused me. Then I said, well, I don't say I love you all the time because to me it's a very important thing to say, so why would I overuse it every 2 seconds for it to become meaningless?" Anybody that's watching this, have you figured out how he's fucking up yet? So he says, "She didn't seem to understand." Of course not. "But what I want to know is, Corey, is why say this when I thought everything was okay?" Well, partly because you obviously thought everything was okay, and there's some things you haven't been paying attention to. This is one of the many reasons why I say you got to read my book 10 to 15 times. You got to get to know this stuff so well, because you got to get to the point where you can look at your girl and know that something's up, something's bothering her, and open her up emotionally and get her to talk, get her to figure out what's going on so you can work through it and she can get back to being loving, sweet, and playful again. And when you don't know these things, when you just kind of breeze through the book once or twice and you get a girl and you're like, "Hey, I got this, piece of cake, no problem." This is what happens. Little by little, things start to get under her skin, and she says things like this, and what does this guy do? Have you figured out what he's done wrong yet? Well, let's read a little. Let me finish reading his explanation here. He says, "I give her enough affection, and I don't get why she feels I'm not loving her enough. Could there be another reason behind it?" Oh yeah, there's definitely another reason behind it, but obviously you don't know what it is. So he says, "The next day she came to me and said she always feels like she should get dumped with me because she's unsure if I really love her or not, despite me saying and showing it a lot." So she's basically saying, "Honey, I just don't feel," because we got to remember, women, when they talk about things, they're talking about what they feel right now. They're not talking about what they felt last week or last month or a year ago or what they may feel in the future. They're talking about right now. Right now. So all you really needed to do when she started saying this, and so what you did wrong is that you basically started using logic and reason to reason with her and win your argument of why you have sufficiently loved her enough. She's communicating, "I don't feel it," and you're going, "Hey, that's it. That's all you're going to fucking get, honey. I've given you enough. I'm sorry. No more affection. No more kissing. You've reached your monthly quota on I love yous," or whatever. That's basically what you're communicating to her. And all she's saying to you is that, "I don't feel you're 100% present with me, and I want you to be more present. I want you to say I love you more. I want you to show it to me more." And so if I was you, and this was my girl, and she said to me, she started saying, "Corey, you don't love me as much as you used to. And you don't kiss me, you don't say it, and you don't kiss me as much. And I had a girlfriend one time that said that to me. And I was surprised, but I also knew right away, it was like she was right. I wasn't. And was starting to fall out of love with her at that point, and she could feel it. She could feel that she was losing my presence, that she was losing my energy, and I wasn't 100% focused on her. And so in this particular case, when she says, you don't love me as much, and she starts saying that, you just say to her, come here, baby. Come over here, sweetheart. And you just put your arms around her, and you look her in the eyes, and you go, baby, you don't think I love you as much as I used to? It's like, you don't think that? Really? You don't think that? And it's like, so I'm going to say things, I'm going to be sweet, and I might start talking my little baby voice, or I might start teasing her, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my arms around her, and I'm going to give her because I see that and I recognize right away, what she's saying is, I want you to hug me more, I want you to kiss me more, I want you to tell me I love you. And so when you start talking to her and she says, well, it's just sometimes you're not as affectionate, it's like, really? And then it's like, so you get her to describe what it is you like. She says, so I don't touch as much. It's like, are there certain places that you'd rather me touch you a little bit more? And as you're moving your hands around her body and being creative, it's like, where do you like me touching you better? Does it feel good when my hands go around your neck? Or, oops, I just grazed your nipples. What do you think about that? Or when I touch your butt, your hands are moving all over her body. It's like, oh, that's the little man in the boat. I wonder if he's moist. You just start playing with her, and she might punch you and say, oh, I'm being serious. It's like, I am too, baby. You're fucking hot. Ever told you how sexy you are? And so, like, when she says that, I go right into, because feminine energy grows through praise, and she's basically saying, I don't feel loved and adored, I'm feeling fearful. And so those are those moments when you recognize it, and just pull her in close and kiss her and hug her and reassure her. That's all she wants. She's just communicating that you need to love me more. And instead of giving her, because the whole purpose, you go to a relationship, you're there to give, you're there to meet each other's needs, she's telling you what her needs are, and you want to argue with her instead. And when you argue with her and you rationalize away, you're basically communicating that her feelings and her desires and her wants and her needs, they ain't fucking that important because you feel you sufficiently given enough. And if the whole purpose of all relationships is you go to the give, then like, why wouldn't you just want to give your girl what it is that she's asking for in that particular moment? You know, it's like I talk about, let women come to you. That's another way that women come to you. Is that she doesn't feel loved, she feels a little unsafe, and you just wrap her up in your arms and kiss her and hug her, and then fuck her brains out. Just fuck her brains out. Just make mad, crazy fucking love to her. And sit there and lay there and hold her, and anytime she bitches or says that you're not doing that, just fucking grab her by the belt and pull her close and say, shut the fuck up and kiss me. Just say that to her. That's another good response. And she says, you don't love me and hug me as much. I just fucking grab her, pull over. I'll say, shut the fuck up and kiss me like you fucking hate me. And I want you to fuck me like you hate me. And I'm going to look her right in the eyes. I'm going to say something like that to her in a masculine way that communicates with my eyes and my presence, my strength and my love and my desire for her. And then I'm going to let her feel that physically when I put myself inside of her. Does that make sense? That is a huge difference. And so instead of it being something simple, you just pull her in, you hug her and kiss her and give her what it is that she wants. Instead, you're creating more distance. You're pushing her away and you're making her feel less loved and less validated. And these are the types of things that cause relationships to spiral out of control. And the more she gets upset emotionally and feels like you don't love her, the guy's thinking, God, it's like 100 times I've told her in the past 2 days or whatever it happens to be. Remember, it only matters about what you're doing right now in the moment. So when she says that, in that moment, that's just what she feels. And so you just be a man about it and grab her, fucking pull her in and give her what it is that she wants. And mess with her and tease her and treat her like the bratty little sister and be playful about it. Oh, it's playful and fun. It's not serious. And you made the mistake of getting all serious and wanting to argue and rationalize. And so he says, I work in a pharmacy with a ton of women, and it's only since she found out my job role that she's always been insecure about it, but I've told her so many times I'm with you because I love you. But she won't quit, and it's making me think I should dump her, seeing as she seems to speak about it so much. And it's like, so as you're taking her clothes off and you're kissing her, it's like, and you're asking her questions, and it's like, and as you put yourself inside of her, it's like, so you feel like I want another woman. And it's like, you just let her keep talking. And so as she's saying all these things about other women, it's like you're inside of her and you're filling her up with your love and your presence, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You're giving her exactly what she wants, and you're letting her talk and throw all of her fears and like, oh my God, I don't feel like, and so you're filling her up. And so if you give her exactly what she wants, what possibly, you can't get any closer than that when you're inside of her. I mean, think about it. And so you start fucking her and making love right in that moment, and she's going to be sweet, and she's going to be playful, and she's going to be really cuddly afterwards. That's all you have to do, dude. I mean, this is the dance, man. This happens day in and day out. And me personally, things would never spiral out of control like they were starting to with this, because it creates a complete unnecessary drama. And the reason that this is happening is because you have a knowledge gap, because you don't know the material in my book well enough, and you haven't practiced it well enough. But I did an article a while back called Communicating with Women Effectively, and I highly encourage you to Google Corey Wayne, How to Communicate with Women Effectively, and watch that video as well, and read my book. If you want to get a copy of my book, you can go to my website, and underneath the email sign-up box, there is a box directly underneath the email sign-up box. It has a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. Now, if you don't have a Kindle device, don't worry, because once you get to the download page, there's a button you can click to download a free e-reader app for whatever electronic device that you want to read my book on. And so if you want to talk to me personally, or if you have a question that you want to ask me, you can go to my website, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side, send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max, and just give me several weeks to get back to you with a response. But if you really want my help, the quickest way to get my help, where I can help you the most effectively, is to book a paid phone coaching session, so I can critique your game. I can tell you exactly what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, or what you need to start doing to turn your situation around, not only in your pickup, dating, and relationship life, but maybe your career, or your business, or health, or exercise, or whatever it happens to be. So if you want to book a phone session, go to my website, click the Products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.